Last Saturday night I attended an event that I never really thought about before, but I was a fill-in for my friend Libby. It was the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame inaugural induction program. And what do you know, the event was sold out, everybody was extremely well dressed, more men than women, and I brought my camera. We ran into a handsome young fella here who says his name is what?
Eugene.
Eugene, and you're from?
Ventura County.
And you are here with?
My family, my brothers, and my dad.
And you all came to this event?
Just for the boxing. To be part of it.
Your fans, do you study boxing or?
No. One of my older brothers is a really big boxing fan.
Okay.
So he invited all of us to come out and be with this big event.
Okay. Well, you're all a handsome group.
Thank you.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This painting is by Richard Sloan, and it is the Corrales versus Castillo painting. Very colorful. It's going to be in a live auction later tonight. Well, all the excitement here and the cameras are because Mike Tyson has arrived. I don't know whether you can see him. Well, you can see part of his tattoo through there. And lots of folks taking pictures. And for a guy who was the one you didn't want to a party, he has certainly changed his image in Las Vegas, and he's here, and people are very glad to see him. This handsome guy is Russell Mora, and he is a referee, right? And with a great smile. He also told us, it's so loud I'm going to be talking. You are also an electrical inspector full-time, right?
Full-time.
How often would you referee?
Referee approximately about once a month.
And these are professional
Yes.
fights, right?
Yes.
And you said you just went out of the country, right?
I did. I just got back from Scotland, and I did a fight in Moscow also.
I'll be darned. How do you get to be a referee?
Well, myself, my father was a fighter, so I grew up in boxing, and I got to box. I never fought professional, but as an amateur, I won a Golden Gloves 2 years.
Okay.
And I love boxing. Since a young child, all I did was eat, drink, and sleep boxing.
Okay, well, there are a lot of people here that do the same thing. Anyway, thank you for talking with me.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right,
Thank you very much.
This is Al Bernstein, one of the honorees tonight, and he is being interviewed and always has comments. He just said boxing is on the uptick. Best year boxing has had in a long time.
Now the media is starting to come back to cover it. So
the media is starting to come back to cover it.
Exactly at the right moment, because boxing in Nevada has been very important to the development of the casino industry and the city here in Las Vegas in general. And as a 25-year resident now, I'm thrilled to see this come to fruition. And we have Rich Murata to thank for this. This is a tremendous job.
Well, how to make an entrance here. This is Don King with his American flag. And here he comes. Well, we don't recognize the hairdo, don't we? And here he is. And he's smiling, he's saying, happy to see you all. This is cocktail hour. And my friend says this whole event is sold out. As you can see, it is quite a crowd. Quite a crowd. Lots of cameras, lots of conversation, lots of hugging. Well, I haven't seen so much lately. And a number of really good-looking guys and gals. It's 10 minutes to 8, and dinner was to be served at 7 o'clock. There are so many folks meeting so many folks that we have eaten our salad, but nothing else has been forthcoming yet. This is Rich Murata, founder and president of the Boxing Hall of Fame.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome and thank you, and here it is. Finally, after years of people talking about it, we have the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. What is it? Okay, now who wants to do it next year? All right. Well, that's good. Well, now we're celebrating, of course, a great sport in a great state. And we're doing it tonight, and I love this, as one boxing community. Now, we're realistic enough to know that there are rivals in the sport of boxing. There are rivals within the walls of this ballroom tonight, past, present, and future. But tonight, we're doing it as one boxing community. Those rivalries are out the window. And tonight we're going to honor those who have done something significant in their careers to advance the sport of boxing in this great. Boxers are the most noble of all athletes. There is everything, one-on-one, practically naked in front of everybody, and we appreciate the thrills that they give us and have given us.
This is the board of directors of the Nevada Hall of Fame.
Bantamweight champion of the world, Wayne the Pocket Rocket McCullough.
To be here, it's a great honor to be inducted into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. Because the sport of boxing and Nevada, particularly Las Vegas, have been linked for many years, for most of the years that I've been promoting in the sport. And I think it's fair to say that boxing helped make Las Vegas what it is today. Because people all over the world, when they thought of Las Vegas, saw it on television and saw the great boxing events that took place in Las Vegas.
The reason I think Larry is the greatest heavyweight champion of all time is because he did something 3 times that no other heavyweight champion even did once. I saw this man get knocked out at the count of 3 and 4, come off the canvas and win the championship. He did it against Mike Weaver, a man that's here tonight, arguably the heaviest puncher in all heavyweight history, and Ernie Shavers, and he did it against Mike Weaver on my birthday, June 22nd at Madison Square Garden. Simply the greatest, Larry Holmes.
Thank you. You know I had the speech already, but you know how it is. You come up and you forget all about what you were supposed to say. First of all, I want to thank all of you because boxing has been my life for the last 38 years. But I lied on you. I told Don, I said, Don, Bob Aaron gave me so and so and so. Don said, Bob Aaron give you that? I said, hell yeah. He said, well, here, I'm going to give you a little bit more. And that's the reason why Don King promoted my boxing for 20-some years. Because Don King gave me money. Everybody said, well, Don takes some money. Well, shit, I didn't care if he took the money because he always gave me more money. He gave me more money than anybody else gave me. So I'm going to go with the man who's giving me the money. And I want to thank you, Don King, for being the man that you are. Not only helping me, my family, you help a lot of these fighters out there. I want to thank Bob Aaron because he does the same thing, help a lot of fighters out there. Because if it weren't for guys like Don King and Bob Aaron putting their money up here, fighters wouldn't be fighting.
In my lifetime to work with Don King and Bob Arum and Lovey's here tonight too.
This is Sig Rogic,
Consider them great friends.
called a problem solver.
I'll touch on it lightly, but if anybody put the numbers to it, you'd probably find that boxing has provided probably close to $15 or $20 billion in revenue to the state over the last 30, 40 years. It's an extraordinary number. But these fights sometimes are $100, $150 million weekends for this city. And people don't put that in perspective sometimes.
Todos sus fanáticos, el gran campeón mexicano, Julio César Chávez.
Thank you.
Yo no voy a hablar tanto como Larry Holmes.
He's not going to talk as much as Larry Holmes.
Simplemente quiero dar las gracias a la Comisión de Nevada por este reconocimiento.
I want to thank the Nevada Boxing Commission for this recognition.
Quiero dar las gracias también a los dos promotores más grandes que ha habido en la historia del boxeo mundial, como lo es Don King y Bob Arum.
I want to thank the two greatest boxing promoters of this time, Bob Arum and Don King.
Me siento muy contento, muy orgulloso de estar aquí al lado de grandes leyendas como lo son Mike Tyson,
I feel very happy to be
Leonard,
together.
Larry Holmes y todos ustedes. Muchísimas gracias y Dios los bendiga a todos.
Thank you.
Gracias.
God bless. Thank you.
Stayed with him. In 1969, his new International Hotel hosted a fight between Sonny Liston and Leotis Martin, and that helped kick off boxing at hotel casinos in Las Vegas. That was just the start. The International became the Hilton. The Flamingo became the Flamingo Hilton. The Hilton promoted boxing. He was a huge part of it. He was a builder of it. And of course, after that, he spun off to other hotels, most notably the MGM Grand. And his influence is still felt to this day. I'm happy tonight to induct into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame as a special contributor Mr. Kirk Kerkorian, and accepting the trophy on Mr. Kerkorian's behalf will be Bill Hornbuckle, who is the president of MGM Resorts International. We're very pleased to have him here tonight to accept the trophy on his behalf. Mr. Hornbuckle.
Thank you all. I will be very brief and succinct, hopefully from the heart, which is the way Kirk would like it and the way Kirk is. I think you all know his story. Like many of you in this room, we have benefited so much from this great man. He has been in Las Vegas participating for 50 years. He has been a foundational rock to this community, and he has several loves. He has love of Nevada, and he has love of boxing. He would be very, very privileged to be here this evening. He couldn't be here. He's in LA resting. He's in great shape. He's in great spirits. And he would love to enjoy this for all of you. You mentioned the story this evening about his boxing career. What's fun about that, his first fight, Kirk was 30-4. His first fight in 1939, he went out and his brother was a fighter, and a more seasoned fighter. Kirk was in the corner and he said, I think I'm going to hurt this guy. And his brother said, well, it's good that he's a little arrogant, a little cocky about it, which is not Kirk's style, but for boxing, that's great. He got out, and in one punch, he put the guy down, and he went on from there to be 30-4. He loves the sport. You will see him often at our arenas, not ringside, that's not his style. Go up about 12 rows and look in the fighter's eyes, and there's Kirk Kerkorian. On behalf of the 62,000 employees that I represent, we love him for all he has done for this community, for the sport of boxing, and most notably for us at the MGM family. Thank you for this great recognition.
First off, I would like to thank everybody that came today. I want to thank all the officials. I want to thank the Nevada Commission. And I want to thank all the legendary champions that paved the way for me to be where I'm at today. Without you guys, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So I really want to, say I appreciate you guys so much. Mike, you're truly unbelievable. Sugar Ray Leonard, Larry Holmes, you guys are legends, and you guys opened up the door for me to be where I'm at today, and I'm thankful for that. Just like you guys passed the torch to me, my ultimate goal is to pass the torch to these guys right here.
Listen, I've been a Nevada resident for 25 years.
This is Al Bernstein.
So this honor to be in the first class of people inducted into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, and to be with the illustrious names that we've seen come on this stage and the ones that will come on this stage is extremely special. There is only one first induction ceremony, and so we are a part of history here this evening.
And a group of reporters had come around with cameras, and one of the reporters asked Don, why did you name the fight The Sound and the Fury? And Don said, well, I'm glad you asked me that question.
Talking about Don King.
In bed, a vision come to me. Ernest Hemingway came to me from the other side. The reporter thought he had him. He said, Don, that's William Faulkner who wrote The Sound and the Fury. Without missing a beat, Don King said, that's what Hemingway said. Name it after Faulkner's The Sound and the Fury.
Thank you, Marty. It's been a long evening, and I'm deeply grateful and appreciative of the honor. But I want to say that I got into boxing trying to help people. That's how I got there, because when I come home from the penitentiary, the community came to me and said the only hospital in Cleveland that serviced the poor, and that means the black poor and the white poor, was a hospital called Forest City Hospital. And they were going to close their doors because they couldn't get the money to pay for pharmaceuticals and get interns to come there. And asked me would I do something to help. Now, I'm not in boxing, I'm fresh out the joint, but they came to me to help. And so I decided I would call on some of my friends that I had before I went to the penitentiary. And one of them was Muhammad Ali. So Muhammad Ali came to Cleveland. We did a show for People Care, and it was a tremendous hit with bringing in the people from Akron, which is the Firestone and Goodyear, the tire companies, and they all came in and pitched in and showed that Cleveland was a city with a heart. And from there, the rest is history. I started in boxing at the top with Muhammad Ali, and I never left.
I just want to say how excited, how humble I am to be acknowledged in such a prestigious-like manner. You know, I love Vegas. Vegas to me was my second home. I won all my fights in Las Vegas. Well, maybe I lost the second Ernest fight. It was close, wasn't it? But I want to congratulate all the inductees. I mean, you guys mean the world to me, your careers and our friendship. I mean, it was very special. My career was very, very special. And I'm just excited and honored to be acknowledged in such a wonderful manner. They say boxing is dead. That is not the case. Observe Floyd Mayweather. The numbers he brings in, the amount of money he brings in. Let's give him a round of applause.
He hit Mitch Green so hard that out of the corner of my eye I saw something go flying, and instinctively I reached up and I caught it, and it was Mitch Green's tooth. It's a true story. But you know, in all seriousness, I think Mike's greatest win is what he's become. He's got a great family. You know, my mother, not everybody's going to understand this, but my mother would describe him as a mensch, and that's what he is. Mike Tyson, it's just a pleasure to induct you into the Nevada Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm good here. I'm good here. Man, all I have to say is I'm not going to do much talking. I'm not much of a talker. All I have to say is that I'm very grateful for Custom Model. This has never happened. I could have never done this if I was with another trainer. No one knew how to reach the core of me that Custom Model did. And I never did anything else in my life. I never played basketball. I never played any other sport. The only thing I ever did since I was 13 was fighting. That's all I ever knew of. That's all I ever wanted to do.
For people like me who are attending the Boxing Hall of Fame dinner and cocktails and weren't really very familiar with all the boxers and the legends and the fights, this brochure was absolutely great. It was beautifully printed and had lots of explanations of who was who at the dinner, and of course lots of pictures. They also showed videos at the dinner as each of the boxing champions were introduced, and you can see here that everyone got their due, and there were ads as well, pictures of everyone. There were a number of inductees that I didn't get on the main video that I took. I guess I was looking for celebrities more than broadcasters or folks who were involved in other aspects of boxing. But you can see that all the pictures are absolutely beautiful, and all the honorees had great photos as well. Mills Lane was here. I remember seeing him because I knew who he was, and he's in a wheelchair these days. But boy, there were people taking his picture and being so glad to see him at this dinner and at this event. And here are a bunch more of the honorees. And of course, some ads. Floyd Mayweather, I believe, was honored as Male Boxer of the Year. He wasn't inducted into the Hall of Fame yet. And there were some ads. We were sitting with the folks who were here with the Chicago Fight Clubs, and they had a big presence. Anyway, it was a beautiful brochure and a beautiful evening.